Yeah. Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to Kiki's Customs. What are you doing today, bro?
Taking out SL500.
So today we're gonna be taking out the SL500's engine. My homie Leo, his dad let me borrow this from his shop, so clutch, thanks to him. We're working on the SL500 today, right? And we've been driving it around. We welded the diff, had some fun with it, but the transmission finally gave out and it was pouring black smoke out of it when I was trying to get it home. So today we're gonna pull the engine out of it. We're gonna take the transmission out with it. And if you guys haven't seen the previous videos, we pulled a manual transmission out of a 350Z. It's a 6-speed, and we're gonna put it onto the original engine until I get a LS motor to build it, to put in it for the final build. But this is gonna be like a little fun, short project. So there's another guy that has put a 350Z manual trans on a M119 engine, which is pretty similar to this one. This engine's a M119, I believe. So we're gonna pull it out. We're gonna take some measurements off of it, send them over to that guy. I'll link it's XF Motorsports, I believe. We're gonna take the measurements from this engine, send them out to that guy. He's gonna cut out a billet piece of aluminum for us and then bolt it up and then make a drive shaft, and it should work. We're not putting this on today, not this episode, but we're definitely gonna be pulling out the engine. If you guys ever wanna see how to pull out a Mercedes engine, which might be kind of hard. I don't know, I've never pulled an engine out. Stay tuned. You're gonna see a lot of failures, but we're gonna get it done. That welded diff life. Yep. Mercedes for the win, baby.
Easy.
Damn. So we're gonna pull the radiator out first. That way we have some space. Because when the radiator's out of the way, we'll be able to have about this much more space to work with on the engine. We have some space to pull it out right there to angle it up, but this has to come out. So we just took these clips off, and look at that.
What's it holding to?
Nice, Mercedes. I like what you're doing. Okay, Mercedes, I'll give you a point for that one. So we're gonna have to take this off too. Oh look, oh look.
You open.
Yeah, so we can take it off.
There's something in the bottom holding it.
Well, then figure it out, bro.
We have left of something.
Oh, there's some stuff over here. The AC. So we're taking out the AC line right now. Hopefully it doesn't explode on us.
It's nutty. Oh, bro.
Get back. Don't breathe that stuff. Maybe there's a better way to do this, but don't do what we're doing. Please don't. Alright, so we got that out. Now we got to take out all the other lines, plugs, brake booster, vacuum line, and the transmission, and bolt it. And I think it should come out. So far it's going pretty good. Try not to jinx it though. All right, just so I don't forget where everything went and so you guys kind of know what's going on. We took off the AC line here going to the radiator. We have the power steering pump. We're taking that apart right now. Power steering cooling line, I think, or it might be the trans cooling line. We're working on taking off all the connections. So this is the brake booster line, the vacuum line going to the brake booster. We also have some wires we're taking off. Okay, so we got the heater core off. Doesn't seem like a lot of connections. I'm pretty surprised, especially with the Mercedes. It's just expensive to fix. Maybe it's easy to take the engine out. They probably do that so their mechanics can replace the engine real quick and charge them a fat fee. This side has kind of a lot. We got the fuel rail, the fuel lines going to it. I think this is for the AC pump, yeah, so after we get all these connections off on this side, we'll unbolt the headers. We could pull it. They actually even give you 3 connection points to pull the engine out with, which is pretty cool. It's almost like this car was meant to have the engine pulled out, having the hood like this, barely any connections. Everything's coming out in one piece.
Gonna have a lot of problems.
Yeah, they knew it. Mercedes, man. It's a good thing and a bad thing.
Right.
Bro, I just remembered we should have taken the battery off. It should be the first thing you guys do so you don't cause a spark with taking off the fuel line. So just because it's back here, forgot, I guess. So we're taking off the fuel lines right now. Let that drip all over the engine. And then this off, we're gonna have to take off the injector wiring because it's connected here. That's zip tie though. Look. Yes, yes.
It is a plug?
Yes.
Nah, for real.
Yeah. Yes, so we kind of wasted some time unplugging everything. He over here asks a lot of questions, which is actually good because it makes me rethink everything. And it is actually a plug, like a complete wiring harness on its own, so we don't have to...
Oh, you don't need to cut it?
Yeah, so...
It comes out.
No. So that means it's going to save us time pulling everything out and putting it back in. So now, yeah, we just have to pull that wire through it. Here, pull it out.
Oh, that's dope.
And everything's still connected to the engine.
So many wires.
Yeah, the wires are, it's the worst thing. All right, so we got the weather seal off of this right here. Cabin air filter here. And then I think we just have to pull off this panel right here to get to this wire. When you're doing body clips, you want to be extra careful. You don't break anything, you know? Just like that. Because you really want to reuse everything that you have. I think I jinxed it. You know, I said everything was going really smoothly. The exhaust bolts weren't coming out and the O2 sensors were like frozen in there. Just because everything up here, since the power steering was leaking, everything up here was already greased. So it was easy to get out. Everything behind the motor was not oiled. So we had to go to the store, get some WD-40, got some food as well. They had to take off. Leo and Elie had to take off. So I'm doing this by myself. Just got to unbolt a couple more bolts. And then they might come back later and help me pull it out completely. We'll see how far we get today. I mean, the sun's going down, so we got those O2 sensors out. Now we got to try to get the exhaust bolts out, which is going to be hard because they're really wedged in there. All right, so check this out. I got that side done. Where is it? Yeah, I got that side done. I'm not working on this, but just look at how I have to get to this, man. I jinxed it, man. Mercedes making it hard. They had this heat shield on this place right here, but I had to get it off just to get to this. It's been 2 hours, I think, just trying to get these bolts off. No! And then the transmission leaks on my face. All right, I'm gonna just cut in after I get that off. So after I get that part off, make sure no more transmission fluid leaks in my face. We take off the plastic or the rubber bushings right here. Take those rubber bushings off. Unbolt it right here. And then the exhausts should just come out and we can start working on the trans. For the transmission, we have 4 bolts for the support. We got a bunch of lines going into it. Now we got it out. Now we got to do unbolt the transmission mounts and the engine mounts, I think, and the drive shaft, and it should come out, hopefully. All right, so the drain bolt on the trans is stripped out. So this is how we're gonna drain it. Oy. hot. All right, it's been like 20 minutes and this thing is still draining. Probably because I put way too much trans fluid in it. But I was just under here taking off all the covers so we could get to the drive shaft and unbolt it from the transmission right here. I think I figured out why it wasn't shifting correctly, like it wasn't going into gear. Look at that. There's no bushing on that. I shouldn't be doing that. All right, so a little change of plans, nothing bad. We're not gonna pull the engine out with the transmission. We're actually, well, not we, I'm doing it all right now. I'm gonna unbolt the transmission and then we'll pull the engine out. That way it's easier for me. I was looking underneath where the transmission would have to slide out of, and it's really a tight fit, and I don't want to deal with that. So it's gonna be a lot easier if I drop the trans and then pull the engine out. So I can't unbolt the drive shaft because the trans support, this thing right here, it's blocking my access to these bolts right here. This thing's still draining too for some reason. Crazy. I'm gonna start unbolting the transmission from the engine. I got almost all the bolts out right now. It's at the point where we have 4 bolts left to go. So I took out 2 on the motor mount. Motor mount is right in there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, so the motor mount is right in there. See that nut right there? Surprisingly, there's only 2 bolts holding it, and I got one side done, this side. Now we gotta do that side, take those bolts off. And then I think that means the engine will be disconnected completely. It'll be unbolted from the mounts. All the, what do you call it? All the wires are, I checked everything, hoses, wires. There's obviously gonna be some that I haven't seen still on there. And then the last thing to do is just unbolt those 2 right there and right there. And that's gonna disconnect the transmission completely. The output or input shaft, output shaft, still gonna be inside the motor. So when we lift up the motor, we'll have to push it forward and then pull it out completely. And then after we get the motor out, we're just gonna take the, geez, I'm tired. We're gonna take the, then we're gonna take the mount for the transmission, whatever you call it, off. That mount off right there, and then lower the jack like I said before. And then we can unbolt the drive shaft and then that should come out. Hold on. So the motor mount bolts are actually right here in the subframe. You go through it and I'll find the bolt somewhere in there. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so you go in here. It's not working out. Hold on. As soon as I turn on the camera, I can't do it right. All right. Okay, so we're on it. This is one of them. There it is. And that's the other one, and that should be all of for the motor mounts. I double checked all of this stuff, but I think we can unbolt the top 2 bolts and then pull the motor, and this should fall down. I'm gonna get the jack and put it right about here. Move all this stuff, and then hook up the motor and pull it out, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. Should be good about right. Yeah, pretty much ready to hook it up. I'm hyped. Yep. Now I get to put manual trans on it. Oh, that's hyped. Okay, please, whatever you guys do not try this at home, because oh my god. Yeah, I didn't have any chains, but I do have dirt bike straps that are rated for, I think, 400 or 500 pounds each. So I doubled up on each. So I got 2 here, so I guess 1,000 pounds. So I mean, realistically, it should be safe enough, but I don't know. Maybe something will happen. Maybe those clips will break. Yeah, be safe, guys. Don't do this. Learn from my my stupidness. It's 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 12 a.m. I won. I fucking won. Look. It's off. Yes. I'm really tired, by the way, so they had to leave, right? And after they left, I unbolted the torque converter bolts, which needed to be done because it wasn't coming apart. When it finally came off, it was because I realized that the motor mounts have an extra inch that they go into the subframe down here. So I lifted it up a little bit more and it came off. So yeah, she's off. She's off. Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm gonna fully pull it off and then lift it up and then put it in here for tonight. And we'll deal with it in the morning. So I'm gonna get to that right now. I'm so hyped. Look, look, look. She's coming out. So the starter's not connected right now. Because it connected onto that. It's leaking some more coolant. These wires have to get disconnected. I don't know what they are, but yeah. Isn't that just a beautiful sight? Oh yeah. Look at that, that thing is massive. There's a big engine. I got that out, I'm gonna just push it back in there. Tomorrow we'll take out the tranny. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, next day, about to pull out the transmission and we have 4 bolts to take out on the, right here, the support.
Oh, you need to take off that support, G. Oh, it's
caught.
Just here, I'll pull it up.
No, I got it. Watch. Pretty easy, huh? All right, so we're gonna bolt those and then drag this out. Big old tranny.
Still coming out a lot.
Yeah. No more weight in the front. So we had to zip tie the drive shaft because it was hitting. Oh yeah, it's like look, grease on here. I mean mud. That's what, good amount of years and a good amount of miles on it doing that to that. All right, so the engine's here. We got the car moved. Over there, it was a little hard because of the diff since it was welded. So we got the car moved. And look how far up the front is from it. There's no more weight in the front, so it just lifted. Yeah, now it looks like a donk. That's pretty funny. That's a good 1.5 under. Look at that. Got the intake taped off. All the valves. So yeah, let's try to get this cleaned up. from there. Obviously, if you want your engine to actually last, don't spray with the pressure washer. 200,000 miles on it and high pressure water. I just want to see if it leaks anymore. If there's any gaskets I got to replace. But now that it's clean, it's easier to work on, and I'll be able to see if it leaks anywhere. That way I could fix that spot so it doesn't create a whole mess in the engine bay. But yeah, I'm gonna finish drying this off right now, so. All right, that's gonna end it for that video. Thank you guys so much for watching if you watched all the way to this part. Next part, we're gonna be getting the measurements from it, make a CAD design, and send it out to XF Motorsports so they could cut out a billet mounting plate. So we got by this bad boy onto this bad boy. So yeah, if you want to see the rest of this build, hit that subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Give the like, give the comment if you enjoyed it, because I'll read those. I appreciate those a lot. And if you want to go see some more builds or the beginning of this one, just head back to my channel and go check them out. All right, till next time.